that actually can be normal life. Like, is the bar set so low that just being intentional is just like out of question? It's unheard of. You're just like, wait, what?
Hey friends, welcome back to the C&T review.
This is where we review anything from food to fashion and everything in between.
And since you already saw the title and you clicked on the video, you already know what we're about to get into.
Yes, so last month me and Chloe celebrated Black History Month, and honestly we just want to keep that high going, and we're going to celebrate International Women's Month this month. Whoop, whoop. So what we're going to talk about is a popular trilogy that is based on a popular book series that is written by a female Asian American author that features Asian American characters and some really powerful ones as well. So if you haven't exactly figured out what exactly we're talking about, we are going to be discussing To All the Boys I Loved Before trilogy.
Yes!
the third installment of the trilogy premiered on Netflix on February the 12th. Me and Chloe saw it, and honestly, we just want to talk about it. But before we get it started, I got a question for you, Chloe. You know, when it comes to like books that are based on movies, what do you prefer? Do you prefer to watch the movie first and then read the book? Or do you prefer to read the book first and then watch the movie? Or does it not really matter to you?
I would say it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay.
I've done both. I think what I like is when I'm reading the book and I've already seen the movie, I can picture the characters as they're interacting with each other while I'm reading it. But then also when I read the book first, you know, I have to use my imagination, and then I see the movie and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happened, that's what that's supposed to look like, you know. So I think both are equally good experiences for me, honestly. What about you?
Same. Honestly, it does not affect my viewing at all. I know there are a lot of people that like prefer one way or the other, and I know a lot of people who actually maybe can't watch a movie after they read the book. Like they're like, it ruins the experience for them.
Really?
And me, I'm just, it doesn't for me. Like, I think that books are just like extensions of movies, right? There's so much more detail in there and everything like that. But I go into a movie that is based on a book knowing like you can't fit all the details in a 2-hour movie. It just doesn't work like that. And for the To All the Boys book, like there's 3 books. And these books are not exactly like really short.
Right.
There are like lots of details in there. I'm like, and these movies are like what, an hour and a half each?
Yeah.
There's no way that I know that like a lot of the details are going to be missed and stuff like that. But I think for this one, I'm pretty sure, Chloe, we kind of read them together.
We did.
Where she was reading them, and then she was like, oh, I read the book. And I was like, oh, I want to read them too.
Right. But I saw the first movie first, though.
Yes, I did too.
She forced
so
me
I saw
to watch this movie.
I did. I saw the first movie first, and then I read the book. And honestly, it just, there were moments where I was just like, oh, wow, that wasn't in the movie. But it didn't take away from the movie for me. It wasn't like I was like, oh, now I don't like the movie.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily matter to me. Not gonna lie.
Ooh, I would have to say the one that invoked the most emotion from me was the third one. If I'm honest, I actually cried. Oh, really? I actually cried. You know, I'm a thug. I don't cry. Well, thug. I'm just kidding. Thugs cry. Yes. It's alright. It's okay if you cry. But for real, I was sitting there, and I remember just like, oh, like
me too.
And I think also just coming to a conclusion of a series of a time, especially for them with high school, and you know, it was. I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was a good one. Even though my fave Jordan Fisher was in the second one. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry. Did we do a spoiler alert? We didn't. But starting now,
we're gonna issue that spoiler alert now. Right? If you haven't seen it, go go watch the movies.
Right,
Save
and
this
come
video,
back.
go watch the movies, and then come back.
Yes.
Yes, the third one definitely is my favorite. I definitely cried at the end when they was doing a little montage when Peter had written in her yearbook, and they were doing a montage of their relationship. Definitely tears.
I was like, his words and everything, like
everything. I watched it with my boyfriend, the third one, and he was just like, "You're crying, are you?" I said, "I am."
He knows
real
tears.
He knows. Legit tears just streaming. It was so good. I was like, the montage got me. It was a wrap.
It was a wrap. Like it was good, and I think it also reminded me of having to graduate in. Pick a college and decide to go to college. I mean, granted, I wasn't in a romantic relationship when I graduated from high school.
Yeah,
but I just feeling the pain or the distress at having to pick a school you love over somebody you love, and those places are so far apart. Like, I just felt all of that. I was just like, dang, what you gonna do, LJ? Like,
I know. It was so good. And the crazy thing is, I already read the book, so we knew what happened.
Right. So we read 2 and 3 before the second movie, and the third movie came out.
Yes, so it was still such a moment. It was still like when Peter showed up at the wedding. He was like, "Yes, Peter, yes."
Yeah, I was actually waiting for him to show up during the wedding, and I was like, he didn't show up. What in the what?
I was like, they changed this book.
I know. I was like, he better come on now.
If they had changed the ending, if they had been like, "Oh, they stayed broken up," I think people would rebel. I think people would be like, "What type of movie is this?"
What in the blasphemy? No. What is going on?
So yes, the third one is definitely my favorite too.
Yeah,
absolutely. Speaking of favorites, let's talk about our favorite characters.
Yes.
So I have two.
Okay.
I do have two, right?
Okay.
I love Chris, LJ's best friend. I think she was perfect. She was like the perfect best friend. Comedic timing, supportive, funny. She was just so good, and she was so honest with LJ. I love their relationship. Like, I love their dynamic because they were very different.
Yeah, they're so different. It kind of
reminded me of me and you a little bit. Not gonna lie. She was like, LJ's much more like reserved and like softer. I'm like,
we'll just wait. We'll calculate all the possible before we take any risks. You're like, no, let's do it now.
And Chris was a much more like, wow, like, no, let's just do this thing.
Right.
Definitely reminded me of me and you a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's true.
But so yeah, I love Chris, but also a very they're probably like tied. Like, number one favorite is Kitty.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry.
Why
Nothing
were
can beat Catherine's song Cubby.
Yes, Kitty.
Like she was. I mean, she the one that started this whole thing. But what I love about Kitty is that, like, yes, she started it and she owned it, and she was like, honestly, let's be real, LJ. If it wasn't for me starting this, you wouldn't even gotten Peter.
Okay, and Dad wouldn't have got Trina. If you think about it, because she said the Valentine over there. So Kitty's literally, she's the cause of all these books.
Kitty was Cupid. Kitty was playing Cupid. Yes. I mean, I don't think she thought about the repercussions sometimes, but still.
She was just
Kitty, I mean, if no Kitty slander will be tolerated here at all. Okay.
Yes. Can I tell you, it's so funny because as I was trying to figure out and decide who my favorites are, I literally had a tie between Chris and Kitty too. Like, and that's why I was screaming when you said, I'm like, yo, it really is them.
They're the best.
I'm sorry. To agree with everything you said about Chris, like, absolutely. I just love her because and the thing is, she's consistent, like, all the way through, which I love. But there was still a little growth, like, with her relationship with Trevor. You know how she was kind of softening out. She wasn't just all the time a rebel. I'm not doing none of that. Like, she kind of softened. She grew. She was about to go. Well, she wasn't going to college, but she was, graduating. I know. That was the most. I love it. All the sarcasm. Like, what?
I did too.
They speak my language.
I loved it. They were great. Yes.
I love it. Yeah. And Kitty, of course, she is the catalyst for all of those things to happen, and she was one of the reasons she made me cry at the end toward the part where she asked her, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you gonna miss me? And she was like,
I'm
4.
gonna miss you on 12.
And then at the end she came back and like she said, the reason why she didn't tell her that she got an NYU because she didn't want her to go Suffolk away because she's gonna miss her at 12. And I was like, Kitty, I know. I was like, this whole time you've been kind of like, I can't wait for you to get out. Like, but as little sisters do.
But still, Kitty.
Yeah.
Kitty, you can't. Her. No disrespect to Kitty.
Yeah,
at all.
None whatsoever. Oh, you know who else I love? Also, he gets a little joint. What's his name? Lucas.
Oh, Lucas. Yes, I love Lucas. Lucas is
cool.
great. He's like a close second.
Lucas,
like,
he always
and then
was
it's Trevor.
Trevor
was funny. He's just really hot to look at. Okay.
I mean, okay.
Trevor's really attractive.
He is. Okay? He's really handsome. And
he's really handsome.
Can I just say also, she wasn't my favorite, but I appreciate Genevieve's arc through the movies.
Yes,
like
I do.
She made a full 180, but I mean, if you consider where her and Largene came from, it makes more. It makes sense. I was relieved, honestly, that it didn't go. They didn't pick up that same thing in all the movies in the same, like, okay, y'all can't be like this, like, especially after the whole treehouse incident in the second movie, like, come on.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I feel like after, I think it was good that they kind of settled down, because I was like, with the treehouse thing with, Genevieve telling LJ, like, Peter was helping me because of my parents' divorce. Like, he loves you. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like if they had resorted back to just them, like, hating each other, it was like what was the purpose? Right. What was the purpose of that treehouse moment if they wasn't going to move forward from it, right?
Right. It was so grown up with them. I'm so proud of them.
I like that they didn't, like, they weren't best friends.
Yeah, because that would have been kind of unrealistic.
They were cordial,
but
unrealistic. But you could tell that they were cordial. Like,
yeah, it was like,
and have some sort of understanding.
Yes,
like, okay, I understand. I understand it. So I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
So a constant conversation, like, you'll see a lot of like, if girls are watching like these rom-coms with their boyfriends, a thing that maybe the girl will say is, "Why can't you be more like this person?" Right? Or in the guys will probably roll their eyes and say, "Ain't no guy like that. Like, no guy in real life is like that." And I actually, honestly, this is a real conversation I had with my boyfriend, y'all.
Yeah. So shout out to him for inspiring this topic for today. Shout out to you.
But the reason why it's just such an interesting thing is because, like, most of the guys say that, like, these boyfriends aren't realistic. And I want to counteract that and say, why can't they be? The only thing with these, like, rom-com boyfriends is that they're intentional, right? So that's why the girls are loving them. They're intentional in expressing their feelings. They're intentional in being supportive of the girl. They're intentional in being there. There's this intentionality that these rom-com boyfriends have.
Right.
That I think the girls that are watching these rom-coms are like, oh, I love that. Because it's just like, they're just there. They're just there for them. They're listening to them.
They're all in.
Paying it. Exactly. They're
but they know what they want.
To them.
Which I know in real life, that's not all the time accurate. Not all the time. But I mean, Christian, it's like, who are y'all learning from? Who said this was okay? Who set that standard, and why are y'all just keeping that standard?
That's the whole fact. Like, I'm just so amazed because I'm just like, that actually can be normal life. Like, is the bar set so low that just being intentional is just like out of question? It's unheard of. You're just like, wait, what? Right. Like, why is the bar set that low? That is the question.
Why is that? And I think it's what we see. So I think since media before, in the not so romantic comedies, maybe they were showing the men who were not intentional, and that's what we learned, or grandfathers and passed down through generations. That's just not how we act. It's not how men are. Somebody made this toxic masculinity thing, and then everybody said that's what we should be doing. And now, like, I think you had mentioned that the females are writing these male characters the way they want them to be, and it's like, y'all should take a note. We're not just, obviously, if they're writing them the way they want them to be, it's not crazy. And I think, like you said, it's not unheard of. I mean,
it's not.
Will it hurt you? Will you die? If you just say, "Hey, you know what? I'm really feeling you. I like spending time with you." Boom. I don't have to express my whole entire love, but just where you are in that moment, share it. Just share that where you are. You know what? I'm not in love right now, but you know what? I like hanging out with you. That's simple. Exactly. I'd be like, that's like, thank
it's
you.
Just that simple, and that's the thing. It's like all these rom-com relationships. It starts out with just the person just being like, I like hanging out with you, and then of course they fall in love really quickly.
Right.
And that part is not fully realistic. Like, it can be realistic. People can fall in love that quickly, but it's not the same story for everyone.
Right.
But it's just. The characteristics that girls tend to like in these rom-com boyfriends is that they're open, they're honest, they're intentional, they're listening, they're there. Like, I don't think those are difficult characteristics that you can require those in a man. Like, the bar is not that low, ladies. If he likes you, he should pay attention to you.
That's it. It's like, I know we got different personality traits and all that stuff, and we show love differently. But I think it's just, let's try. That's my thing. That's my thing for this year. And it's something I know some people need a little help, a little push, but like, just try. Yeah. We're not asking for 1,000%. We're not asking for a total makeover of your personality.
No.
Just
try. Like, if you're interested, show me that you're interested. Like, I should be able to tell that you are interested in me.
Right. I shouldn't have to be guessing.
And that's the thing. And it shouldn't contradict your personality, but I shouldn't have to guess whether or not, like, you like me or not. Like, that should not be a thing. And so I think that's the thing. I think the reason why women are attracted to these rom-com boyfriends is because these guys are trying. Like, you can literally, like, see them trying. They're like, they like this girl. I don't think that's too much to ask. Do you?
I don't think so either. So let's all level up in 2021. Let's do it. Let's collectively
in the words of Sierra.
Okay, in the words of Sierra. Level up. So let us know in the comments what you thought of this movie or these 3 movies. Let us know whether you like reading books first or watching the movie first. Let us know who your favorite character was. Let us know which movie was your favorite, and let us know if you think rom-com boyfriends are realistic at all. I want to hear from the women and the men. Let us know.
Women and the men. Yes.
We need both perspectives here. Okay. So,
absolutely. Yes. And next week we're going to continue with our International Women's Celebration. We're going to do a Disney Channel movie. Honestly, this has just turned into a Disney Channel account, but that's okay because we stand Disney. Okay, there's a lot of good movies, but we're going to be talking about actually one of our favorite Disney Channel movies, and we're going to discuss how it impacted us watching it as an adult versus when we watched it maybe as children. So can't wait to see you guys next time. This has been another CET review. Thank you for hanging out with us today.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and check out our other videos. We'll see you next time. Bye!